Afternoon everybody, welcome to part 2 of Monty the Militant's restoration. Where do you start on a job like this? It's all got to be done. You could start anywheres really, but you need some kind of plan, otherwise you'll end up wandering aimlessly and not achieve anything. For myself, I'd like to start with the chassis and the running gear, but first you've got to get to it, and at the moment there's too many bits that are likely to fall off and drop on you while you're trying to work. So I think the first thing to do is get rid of those. I'm talking mainly about the skip itself and the cab. You can't get the cab off until you get the skip out of the way, so we'll start by taking the skip off. I want to start by taking the sides off the skip before I try and lift it. I think they're going to fall off anyway, so they just need a bit of assistance. This top girder was something fitted by Eric. It's welded at each end, and I presume it was to reinforce the sides as he was using it for loading. Quick 5 minutes with the angle grinder and the whole side just falls off and drops on the floor. It's just hanging in a couple of places with a bit of rust, but we'll soon get that on the deck. At least it's going to be safe. Once it's down, it can't fall down. The left hand side, surprise surprise, the thing actually opens. It takes a bit of effort, but there you go, it unlocks, and with a quick size 10 behind it, it comes open. Well, at least it leans on the wall, but you can see that back pillar's on its way. That's well broken, and again the girder at the front just needs chopping with the grinder, and the whole lot comes straight off. Now, the skip itself has a swivel point at each corner, and 2 pins are issued, and you place the pins into whichever corner you need for whichever way you wish to tip it. I was quite surprised. The near side pin pulled straight out. The offside pin though, that was a different story. It's been soaking in penetrating fluid for about 2 days now, and it still doesn't want to go anywheres. So big hammer, bit of heat, got it freed off, loads more penetrating fluid. That's ready to come out now as well. It just needs a little tap to knock it right through. Unfortunately, that wheel arch is in the way, so the wheel arch is going to have to come off in a minute, and then I can tap the pin right through. Then the skip's ready to lift up. And who are we going to lift it with? Our little guest star on today's programme, the Militant. And Militant wasn't always like this. She started life as a long wheelbase cargo truck, 39 EL48. But on leaving the army in 1993, she was purchased by a guy called Ralph Brown, and he did the modification, removed the centre axle and cut the chassis quite literally in half. The rear axle was replaced, making it the short stumpy little thing it is now, with the Atlas crane on the back. This was done for a contract Ralph had to work on the Forbidden Corner tourist attraction in Leyburn, Yorkshire. Here we go now. I've got a sling on the front. I'm just going to try and lift it carefully at the moment and see how it lifts up. All taking it very easy, and that's lifted rather easily. I was expecting to be a bit more of a fight. I'm not sure I like the slings on that hook though. That doesn't look too safe. I think I might reposition them. I've put 2 blocks under the front to stop it dropping right down. And you can see I've got my slings joined together in the middle with a shackle. The rams are coming out in the centre, that plate's dropping out quite nicely, so there's no reason why the whole thing shouldn't lift straight up now. Or at least that's what I hope it's going to do. Bit of chain on the back then, and we're ready to go. And she's up in the air. Now all I've got to do is drive the tipper out from underneath. And this is where life gets interesting. I've got my 2 batteries and my Heath Robinson electric set up. Driver seat's in position. Yeah, we're about ready to go. Is she going to start? keep calling it she, but Monty's a he. Anyway, I can't drive and video, so you'll just have to believe he drove out from under there quite nicely. Now all I've got to do is get the skip down onto the floor before it falls down. I'm still not too happy with it being up there. So we'll get it down on the ground and it's quite safe then. Once it's down, it can't fall down and it's not in the way. Bit of trouble with the control levers here. I'm trying to hold the camera in one hand and work the levers with the other hand, and I get it a bit too close to the back of the truck. Not a problem though, just move it over a little bit more. I've got it sitting on some blocks again as well, so long as I've managed to get it on the blocks, so it's easy enough to move next time. Oh, with the skip out of the way, we can have a better look at the underside now. The tipper itself sits on its own framework bolted onto the truck chassis. You can see the ram plate here and the hydraulic tank up the front. So that's all going to get lifted off next so we can get to clean the chassis. Electrics at the back there look a bit of a mess, but they'll all get cleaned up anyway. One thing I have noticed though, it all looks fairly straight. And apart from the dirt and the rust, and there's a lot of it, it doesn't look too bad a condition really. These brake chambers, they actually look like they've been doing something. So maybe the handbrake does actually work and I'm not just pulling it on and hoping for the best. Up at the front, rams looking pretty good. As maker's plate, Edwards Brothers Tippers Limited. So it's a genuine one. It's even got the serial number there. Round at the back, again, apart from the rust, it's all quite straight. Tippers tend to get a very hard life, both in the army and civilian, and a twisted chassis or bent bits wouldn't be surprising. But Monty looks quite straight all round, which is quite pleasing. Even down at the back here, doesn't appear too much damage. Wheel arches have been pushed in a little bit, but that's okay. At least there's no major structural damage. Nothing twisted, nothing particularly bends either. So it's all good news all round really. I think that'll do for today. I've had enough now. Well, I hope you enjoyed part 2 and thanks for watching. I look forward to part 3 now when I start attacking the cab. Thank you. Bye now.